I'd like to introduce you to Micah Hansen in the US and Dan Ray in the US. And we got Solomon Jeremiah in the UK and myself, Frank Falvey, in Cork in Ireland. And I'd like to welcome you to the AI and Azure Show. So, Dan, do you want to start with something?
Yeah, so I know we had some discussions about guests for our show, and if anybody on LinkedIn, Frank, we're doing this on LinkedIn, Twitter,
Live and
YouTube
YouTube
and
and
Okay.
Twitter. So we're
Awesome.
on those 3 platforms.
Awesome. So if you're in any of those audiences, feel free to make comments. Those comments should come through to us on the StreamYard application that we're using. And I was just playing around before we got on with the settings and the audio features in StreamYard. It looks like they have like a little test recording from a couple of the support folks at StreamYard to test if your audio is working correctly. I thought that was kind of cool. And then right before we started, here I can share my screen. Bring up this window here. And we can look at NVIDIA video software AI eye tracking. So I just saw this last week. I think it's called Eye Contact. Have either of you seen this?
So can you share your screen with us there, Dan?
I did share it. It should be at
okay,
the bottom. There we go.
Yeah. I just needed to make it live.
No, perfect. Thanks. Yeah, like the StreamYard puts the video or the screen sharing in like the tray, and then thanks for putting that up. So this is from Ars Technica, and NVIDIA just announced software that uses AI and the GPU of more recent NVIDIA video cards to maintain eye contact even when you don't have eye contact. So whether you're reading, whether your eyes are moving around the screen, it actually does a really great job of maintaining almost like you're looking at the screen. So I don't know if you'll get sound with this.
Wow.
Can you hear the sound?
Not yet.
No. But can you send the link across?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let me send you the link here in the chat. I think I didn't tell it to include computer audio when I went out to the link. But I think I saw this a couple different places. Let's see if that's what I didn't. Yep, I didn't do system audio. Let me know if that comes up okay. In the share tray. There we go.
Hey guys, I'm Gerardo from NVIDIA, and I want to tell you today about NVIDIA Broadcast 1.4. In this new update, we have a brand new effect, eye contact, which is super cool because it will morph your eyes. For example, here I can be reading the script, and it makes it seem as if I'm looking at the camera. We also have improved quality for a virtual background and the new vignette effect, which can be combined with background blur so that we do a cool bokeh effect. Go check it out at our website.
So that's the NVIDIA Broadcast 1.4 with eye contact feature. And that same person did I think it was on NVIDIA's site, maybe where you download the eye contact beta version of their broadcast app.
Okay, so you don't have to have an NVIDIA card installed in your machine.
You do. You have to have an NVIDIA card, and it's a fairly recent card. So I looked through the information about downloading and the requirements were a pretty hefty card from NVIDIA that was required. And having that graphics card, like an RTX, I think 4000 series, it might have been the 3000 series as well. There's some pretty recent graphics requirements. But you can see where he's looking off to the side and the eye contact on refocuses the eyeball to the screen. The Surface Pro 9 that I got from Microsoft also has some of that eye contact software built in for at least Microsoft Teams, which uses the GPU to do some recalculations when you're looking at the screen to make it look like you're looking into the webcam. But this NVIDIA software is the first that I've seen that does kind of auto correction and almost like a OBS, where you install this as a driver to whatever video software you're using, Teams, Zoom, StreamYard, etc. And I noticed that this was available in the Surface Laptop Studio, but only the i7 processor version comes with an NVIDIA graphics card that's on the supported list. So I need to find somebody with a Laptop Studio i7 to test this out.
Okay.
I actually have the RTX 2060.
Okay.
But the RTX 2060, for me, the performance is almost like the RTX 3050. So I don't know if that will work, but I can always just give it a try.
Yeah, definitely the download. So I was able to download it on my Surface Studio 2, but the NVIDIA card that I have, which I want to say is either an 1000 or a 2000 series, was not on the supported list. So the software basically just said you don't have the hardware requirements to install, but you can download that driver and then it'll tell you or the software tells you if you have the right driver. There's a driver version needed, and then, obviously a supported NVIDIA card. So something to check out. If we could get somebody running that would be super cool.
Yeah, real cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Have either of you seen any other AI news or Azure news recently?
Yeah, that just see that Shutterstock, that site that you can get these images. They've incorporated DALL-E 2 into their platform, so you can get I don't know, will I share my screen there with you?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I can stop sharing mine.
Present, share screen. Think you can see that, yeah.
Yep.
It's coming up.
So you can see that there, that the OpenAI is a text to image generator, the DALL-E. So they're incorporating that into their site, which is Had to make a lot of money, as you can see there.
Yeah, I know that's one of the services that does that you can do the download, right?
So that's the latest I seen with AI. That's only on the 25th of January, so it's 2 days ago, which is cool.
Excellent. Frank, do you have a Noel Silver Russell's profile handy on LinkedIn?
Second there. Yeah.
I can look for it too. I think she had something very recently posted about Azure. It was probably the cognitive services in Azure.
Well, you guys are looking at that. Have you heard about the smart walking stick that they're trying to create?
I have not.
Yeah, so using artificial intelligence, the University of Colorado Boulder is trying to get a walking stick that can help those who are blind go to the grocery store without help, being able to like find the right products and be able to find like a seat and just from shopping for a box of cereal at the grocery store to, just getting around in the grocery store. So pretty amazing stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it kind of looks like Walmart's walking stick, like just like a regular candy cane kind of that you could buy at the store, but they'll have them like at grocery stores, hopefully in the near future. I know there's some interest from various places, so we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah.
So does that kind of program somebody's step if they're going around the house or something?
I'm not exactly sure. They did like a study that showed some good results where like they were trying to find a seat, for example, just in random assignment scenarios. And 10 out of 12 trials, people were able to find the right chair with like varying levels of difficulty. So I think it's not like applying to just particular stores, but more just with existing technology and being able to use things like that already exist for apps and stuff that can scan barcodes and whatnot, but also just with like visual perception. And I heard something else about like a fish sensory organ that they're trying to like use to get more insight in how to develop underwater robots.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, a lot going on with AI and like, your immediate environment and how to move about. It's crazy. I didn't think that they would ever be able to do things like this,
Yeah, this was actually on TikTok. I can never remember where I see Noel's updates from, but this is her Noel.ai TikTok. Just takes a look at the facial expressions on either video or whatever input you give it, and then can predict neutral facial expressions. Somebody that's a little sad. So I know some of the cognitive services in Azure are also something that can look for either facial tracking. It can even do body tracking. So I know there were a number of demos with Microsoft Connect that could look for engagement when somebody's walking by like an advertisement and pay attention to whether you were looking at the advertisement or not. Have any of you seen any other of these kind of tracking or cognitive services
Yeah,
demos from Microsoft?
there's a company doing that now in marketing, as you were saying there. Are they looking at the shelf? And we say if you're in a supermarket now and there's all different shelves, some at 5 foot high, some lower down, and what they're doing is they're using the artificial intelligence to track what people are looking at. And we say some products, they charge a different premium for what shelf you put your stock on. So like the bottom shelf, you probably get it for free. The next shelf up, you might, the company might pay, maybe $1 for that shelf, but the one that's mostly at eye level that people can see, they pay more for that one. They can see how many hits people, get. So, yeah.
Schnucks, I know, are one of our local grocery stores. They're headquartered in St. Louis, Missouri. Schnucks has these robots that comb the aisles and are looking for just various things that humans would have to look for before. So they expanded the use of them into 16 stores originally, and now into an additional 46 locations, including our store locally. So every once in a while when I'm in there, I'll run into this robot that's walking around and looking up and down the aisles. So I'll toss a link to this in the chat here.
Okay, cool. Actually, there's a company here in Cork, and one of their biggest customers is Walmart. And what they're called, the company's called Everseen. So what they do, these where you go self-service and you put your products in, you do your own checkout. But they have this artificial intelligence that's tracking the products and making sure that you actually scan it and before you put it over into the thing. They have a very funny video where this guy is trying to steal something and thinking there's nothing to detect him, and the video is called "I'm Never Going to Steal in Walmart Again," because this AI is tracking everything he's doing. So.
It's going to be interesting to see how much of this, changes both how we're observed and, how fairly, I guess, we are assessed in different aspects of our lives, right?
Yeah, and Microsoft has been giving a lot of grants for this kind of research too, which is so cool. Like, there's the Seeing AI app, so that's a big project for them where you can just point a camera phone at various scenes and get a description of what's inside of the frame. And one of the people that they've been, granted money to is University of London for an object recognition for blind image training. So they call it Orbit. And it's a research project to have like a public database, I guess, for all these different types of images, and using videos submitted from people who have low vision or who are blind to be able to kind of really understand what they're able to see. It's crazy.
Wow.
So have you thought about the AI in terms of security with Microsoft? When we are talking of the Sentinel, I don't know if you've heard of Microsoft Sentinel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the way it works, you collect the data. When you collect the data, then the next process is it has to detect the threat, right? And when it's doing those detection, it's actually using the AI to detect it. Then there would now be an investigation stage where it will do the investigation, and then you will have response. So over the time, the way Microsoft have been actually working in terms of security, they also use AI to get common threats across multiple tenants, and when they want to detect the threats, it becomes like very fast every time. So even if you use the defender, you will see that with new updates, it tends to detect new threats because of the AI. They have to collect different data. They do the detecting stage, investigating it, and after the investigation, then you see response. So the response to threats are now getting more faster, and they are doing well in that aspect. Although there are lots to talk about in that aspect in terms of security, but yeah, I think the AI is also doing a good job in terms of security. And if you're also talking about the Sentinel, yeah, the AI does a lot there too.
Yeah. I know I used to do this in a security class. I haven't tried it on this computer.
Oh,
You can create a file that Windows can't delete.
oh,
I remember it's // and then path. No, let's see if I can pull this up from my GitHub to make sure I'm using the right path variable. Bear with me a second here. Elevate docs. Where's my win file? I think I called it win file. There it is. So let's look at the demo file. // You start with the backslashes. It's been a while since I did this. So copy con.
oh, I think I remember this. This should be an old trick.
There we go. So I just created a file that shouldn't exist on a Windows computer called LPT1. And then even with administrative rights, in the past, it wouldn't delete the file. It looks like it deletes it now in Windows 11. So on Windows, Windows 10, it wouldn't understand how to delete the file. It doesn't understand how to delete the file unless you do it through the GUI interface, or if you use the same way that you created the file, you can do a delete command. So this is a bypass that's been documented in the MSDN developer content to use like a named pipes connection directly to the file system, bypassing NTFS and some of the other ways that files are written to the file system. So I think even with like Linux, if you use Linux and you're writing into a Windows file system, and either the file names or the folder names have more characters than Windows understands, that's how those files can get written to the file system, is they use this like direct piping to the storage as opposed to going through Windows and like a file share. But that's something that I documented out on my GitHub. And I'm sure AI is looking for these kind of things. So when I used to present this, I'd ask, why is Windows allowing a file that at the time with Windows 7 or Windows 10, you couldn't delete. You didn't have the ability, even with administrative functions, to delete it unless you used the same kind of reversing the process to delete the file. And the answer was because nobody had weaponized it. Nobody had used this for a malicious exploit of the operating system or an executable or anything. And so in Windows 11, it looks like, at least from the GUI, you can delete these files. And that would either mean that they just closed the hole, the back door, or maybe somebody used this to do something malicious. So Microsoft, with Sentinel and other things, is looking for all of these types of signals and the threats that are out there, and then addressing those threats.
Yeah, I think that was back then in 2007 when I was still in high school. I was always creating files like this. I think there's even a folder that when you create, you can't delete it. And if you probably even try to copy in a folder with some kind of long characters, it won't accept, except you're moving the file to your C drive where you have admin rights more. So I think should be changing some of this stuff soon.
Thanks for being with us, Micah.
Yeah.
Are you creating another partition on your C drive then by doing that, Dan?
Okay, when you move the file, I think up till now, there are some files that won't save on your normal folder until you move them to your C drive if you're copying them. I still have a file that I could not save it on my folder. I was copying it from a drive until I have to move it to a particular until I moved it to my local disk C drive. Yeah, so I think there's still some files like that. I don't know if that will change in the future, but I still experienced it recently.
Yeah, I know in something else that I was talking about with something on the tech community, I was talking about setting up a shrink volume function, which you should be able to do through the computer management. So my C drive on this computer is using up all the space. However, with the shrink volume command in disk management, I'm able to reclaim up to 175, 178 gigabytes of the space. And essentially, I've never had an issue personally with shrinking on the fly, but this is something that you should back up your computer and make sure that you're not dealing with anything like that. But I've just shrunk my C drive now to a different size, which frees up space for like another partition. Yeah. So there's all sorts of tricks to do different partitions or to load. I think even on this is the ARM-based Surface. I think even on this, there's the subsystem for Linux, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think I've installed it yet. So if I search for subsystem for Linux, it doesn't come up, but it should be, if it's on here, it'd be in control panel. It probably isn't on here because I think I'm still running Windows 11 Home Edition. So it probably doesn't have the subsystem for Linux. It does, actually. So that can be installed here. I'm always trying to remember what's a Home Edition versus a Pro or Enterprise Edition feature.
Are you using the Home? This should not be the Home.
I am using Home on this one. I haven't upgraded to a Pro license.
I don't think I can. Do you? I have key in case you need.
Oh, I've got them too. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm not actually comfortable with the Home. There are a lot you can do.
Yeah, I've got to go into my Azure subscription or somewhere like that to turn it on. But I'm trying to remember. I don't think with changing the license keys, I don't think you have to reboot, but you have to reboot to install the subsystem for Linux. So
yes,
there's a reboot that I'll have to do at some point before maybe next week or the next time we get together.
Have you ever used, multi-boot Linux operating systems from USB.
I did that once. I've done the multi-boot or the Linux on a like a thumb drive, a USB thumb drive or a hard drive once or twice.
You
Yeah.
use a kind of thing called persistence.
Okay.
So is
I
that it
haven't
actually?
used that.
Yeah. So it doesn't actually install into your system. So you're just running it straight off the USB stick.
Yeah. Have you heard of hiring?
Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hiring PE. Is it the PE version you're using?
The last time I used it was let me say 2011.
Yeah. No, there's a new one out now for Windows 10. It looks like Windows 10 and all, you know.
Really? Wow, that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I use a thing there called Ventry. And have you heard of Ventry?
No.
Ventry is excellent. It makes a partition in your USB drive, and you can just drag in as many operating systems as you want.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Like I've got one for Windows, so I've got every Windows, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, even Windows XP. You can just boot up off the USB stick. And I use Ventry, you know, so if you get Ventry, you can just drag in all your images into the actual USB stick.
Okay.
So when you do a boot from the USB, you've got your list of all your operating systems. So you can pick which one to boot from.
Huh.
I think I will need to get more information after this event from
Yeah,
you.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
would be awesome.
might maybe next week or the week after I might do a demonstration, show you how to do it.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, I
That'd
have
be
one.
cool.
1 second now.
I have not tried StreamYard from Linux. That would be an interesting test.
It should work, right?
It should, yeah.
I think you just need the browser then, or maybe you need.
It's usually
access to your mic.
Firefox, I think, by the default, right? Firefox in most of the distributions of Linux.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
You said what?
Is Firefox usually the browser?
Firefox?
Yeah.
I think I didn't get that. You say is Firefox what?
Is Firefox in Linux? Isn't it the browser in
Yes,
Linux?
it should. Yes, it should. I think it should. Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Dan, I made an Apple one as well. You use Apple, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 9-in-1 of all the different distributions.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so you know if you had an older Mac and you wanted to put El Capitan on, or if you got a newer one, you want to put a new version.
Cool. I have 2 iMacs that are in that boat. They're probably maybe 2012, 2013 iMacs, the 27-inch that you can bypass and do use them as external monitors, and they were cheap enough for, they've become basically external monitors. But if I could get more current Mac OS on them, that would be nice to use them for both.
Yeah, sure. I could send you over one, maybe. I have. Let me know which ones you need, and because I have one there with 6-in-1. There is Shannon confirming there that Linux, it's Firefox.
Oh.
Thank you, Shannon.
Oh, they said for Linux is Firefox. Dan. Oh, I think the network.
Yeah, Dan is.
I think his network or something.
He's after formatting his hard drive.
Oh, he maybe he was probably trying that. I think probably he's trying something and he got disconnected. Oh, he
Yeah.
said my computer. Oh, okay. He was trying the license update and his computer went on reboot.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he should be back. So this is more like the video. I think someone sent to the group. I think that was either Matthew
Okay.
about
Do you want
Windows.
to play it there?
You said? Do I want to do what?
Do you want to play the video?
I can't really trace it now. It's probably somewhere in the chat up.
Okay.
Someone sent it to the group, Journey to the Cloud group, about Windows updates. Oh, I think I found it. Okay, let me do this. Okay, let me share the link with you. So can you see the link?
Yeah, I can see the link. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the video. That's exactly what is happening to Dan now.
Okay.
He's back.
Oh, I tell you.
Dan,
Sometimes you get a warning and sometimes you don't.
do you remember the video Matthew sent about Windows update?
Yes, I do.
That's exactly what just happened to you.
That is exactly what just happened. So I got the Windows 11 Enterprise, which is what caused the reboot. But now I should also have the subsystem for Linux on my system. So if I do a search for subsystem,
But
does it
Dan,
not install?
what do you think of Windows 11?
Awesome. I think I'm enjoying it so far.
There's too many problems at the moment with it.
For me, I don't know if maybe it's the spec of my system, but I think everything is running fine. The only downside, I would say, my battery for some reason is not performing the way it was earlier. So after I updated my system, yeah. So, but everything is fine.
But I find that, if you install it on a machine and it's not going well, you can't go back.
I think you have some days to go back.
Yeah.
You have some days to change your mind.
It must be only a new feature, Solomon, is it?
For every Windows update, there is always
for an
time frame.
update.
Yeah.
That's for an update. But once you go to Windows 11, you can't go back.
Yeah. So what I did was I shrunk my partition, similar to what we did here, and then I took a download of Windows 11. So I was running Windows 10. I shrunk my partition, and then I booted from the Windows 11 media. And when Windows 11 goes to install from boot, you can tell it which partition to use. So my computer downstairs has Windows 10 and then has Windows 11. And theoretically, I could put Linux distributions or other things on it.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten around to trying that on on my I'll call them my good computers. I've tried Linux on a really old computer, but I need to try it on something more current.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how many computers do you have at home that you use for testing?
Oh man.
I think there are a lot.
Yeah. Probably more than 10.
Oh, that was a lot.
Yeah. I've got probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 surfaces. I have this surface. that I can't get working right now. So it's a i7 Surface Pro 3. And I can tell it's a Surface Pro 3 because it still had the Windows logo over here.
Oh, nice.
I have
It's probably my oldest.
I have a Surface Pro 4, but the battery is not great on it.
Okay.
So
yeah, the Surface Pros are good ones to play around with, but if like this one is sitting in the trying to install Windows 10, and I don't know what kind of loop I caused, but it just loops in the install.
Whoa. What's the storage size?
I think it's a 256, I want to say.
That
It was an
okay.
i7, so I purchased this with a little more oomph than the i5, so it had fans in it, so it has the cooling and the fans in the device. And then my most recent is probably Surface Pro 8, and then I got a Surface Pro 9 from Microsoft to do some testing on.
That's nice.
So this is Kali Linux. And it
Kali
looks like that should be installing.
Has very interesting tools in it.
Yeah. It looks like it's still doing distribution failed. Requires an update to its kernel component. So that might be another reboot to get that work done as well.
I actually wanted to say you might get another reboot.
I'm going to try to avoid any other reboots during our meeting.
So Solomon, I see you were doing a few videos there recently. Were they Azure ones?
Yeah, so for the videos I've been doing recently, I've been working around M365 and Azure because I have a lot of training that I've been doing. So yes, I tend to just pick some of the videos from the tenants and just upload. Yeah, but I have a lot of videos in my M365 tenant for years. I've been doing, although some do expire, but I have a lot.
Yeah, I think Matthew was looking at doing a few things for the journey for the cloud thing again, maybe next month. So if you want to kind of do something for them.
Yeah, of course. I have a lot of demos to do now, like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solomon, at least on my end, I'm getting an echo from you.
Yeah, okay. I think I noticed that too. Let me just try to change my audio.
Sure.
I'll have to get some lighting because I'm kind of fading out the camera and kind of.
Yeah.
Is those white boxes any good then? Do you know those the square ones that you can get? You see some people there.
For lighting?
Yeah, do you know it's a kind of soft light, but it's a big square box you can hang on the wall. You know that kind of way.
Yeah, I did a video for what was it? Inside Microsoft Teams, and they asked me just to use my cell phone's flashlight feature to throw more light on me.
Okay.
And so they asked if I had like lighting, and in my office I don't have as much options. I'm upstairs now, so there's natural light coming in from a window to my left.
Yeah.
And in the basement there wasn't that kind of option where my desk is set up. So they said, just turn on your camera phone's flashlight and let's see if that puts enough light on your face. And they said that made a difference. Yeah, that looks better. But not when you sit back. When you sit back, it gets a little
Yeah, but
It's a little
bit
crazy.
kind of, it's a bit much in your face, the phone there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But one of those boxes I would think would be good. Anything that puts the white light.
I got the circle light and didn't last for about 2 months and was gone.
Okay. Yeah, so Matthew ends up in Chicago tomorrow. We're going to concerts, and then we're planning to do a lot of just meet and greet with Microsoft folks and community folks while he's over here.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll update the team on what's going on, and he'll be here next Friday. I know. Friday, I think he has his afternoon free, so he asked if we could go back downtown Chicago, and I think Sunday is the other day that we're going to go down to the city.
So what concert are you going to see?
We're going to see Ice Cube. So I've never seen him live, and I asked Matthew if he was into concerts and Ice Cube specifically, and he said, "Oh yeah, that'd be grand." So I thought, well, we're going to see Ice Cube then.
Nice.
It should be fun. It's not too far from the airport. It's probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Okay. And is it in a stadium or is it in a kind of concert hall?
It's in the Hammond, Indiana casino. So there's a casino just on the Indiana side of Chicago, which is, Chicago's where the airport is, and Hammond is right on the other side of the state line. So we're going to head over there for the concert. And I haven't been to that casino or that venue yet, but I'm assuming it's not arena size, probably, I don't know, maybe 500 people.
Oh, okay.
But we're heading over there Saturday night, and then Sunday, like I said, will probably be our other day trip to the city. So.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So next Friday, you won't be around, so will you? You'll be.
I'll be around with Matthew, so I'll need to talk to him about whether he wants to do something from wherever we find ourselves. He finishes up Friday with a couple of calls and community stuff that I'm doing as well. So if we're free, maybe we could talk about doing something for Journey to the Cloud, or for this, or just catch up, if we don't do something live. But I'll talk to him this week and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That would be
I'm still hearing the echo too, Solomon. I don't know if that's coming from Frank, or I don't think it's from me, but it could be.
I actually went mute.
Okay. Is there anything now then?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. No, I'm still hearing it. I don't think it's on my end, but it could very well be. Hold on.
If you just mute your one there, we'll see. Yeah. Solomon, unmute your one.
Okay, now I'm.
Yeah. No, it's probably something on your side, so then.
Yeah. I've got a external speaker.
So this video that now should come up on the 3 platforms that I have ticked up on the right hand side there. Twitter, YouTube,
On Twitter.
Yeah, so if do you have those tabs open?
I will just open one now and just see.
Yeah.
I knew it worked on YouTube and LinkedIn last week. Yeah, it's live on Twitter as well. So I'll just share it here. You see that one there?
Not just yet.
There you go.
Yep, there we are.
That's the Twitter one. So the YouTube one. There we are. We are. Okay.
I'm just going to see if I can get logged into Twitter here. New computer.
Oh, a new computer. Okay.
Need to set up all the things again.
So do you see this screen here then? That's what I was telling you about last week, the Microsoft Machine Learning Studio.
Oh, cool.
When I logged into this earlier, it was actually telling me that they're going to retire it next year.
Oh,
So you can see there, like if you create any projects, they kind of come up inside here. So if you go hit the new one here, you can find projects, sample projects. Like now, it's got Cortana in it as well.
neat. This looks very much like the Azure, the original Azure portal. Before
Yeah,
they went to the modern,
it's the classic.
new, right, the classic.
So here is the gallery. They have a gallery, you know. You can see they're saying it's retiring there 31st of August. So you got all the different, you know, if we go browse all, it'll give you loads of sample projects that are already done, and you could just put your own spin on them, you know.
That's great.
So this one here will give you what it looks like. Just open it. So this is it's a kind of web-based thing then as well. So if you have your project done, you can actually link it out to a website.
Nice.
You know, so if you were pulling in data all the time and it was changing, sure, yeah, it's coming up here now. It's probably a big project. So these are all the actual things you just drag them in, and they link up with each other. See the arrows here?
Yeah.
So if I catch this one and I drag it over here, it'll probably tell you, you know, see all the red ones, they're all gone wrong now. But if I put it back, they go. So that's just a quick overview of the old one before it's on. So, there you go.
That's awesome. Well, I know, Frank, we talked about next week potentially doing something with Matthew. And I know this week and last week we used your Twitter. Well, this week we used Twitter, but we used last week your YouTube and your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
So if we could ask Micah if she wants to do it. Solomon, you had offered using your profile as well.
Oh, I can use mine.
Okay. Yeah, I think one benefit to that is instead of hitting the same audience, if Frank does it one week, Micah does it the next week, maybe Matthew does it one week from his profile, we're hitting everybody in their network as somebody that potentially gets notified that, you know, Frank has gone live or Solomon's gone live or Micah's gone live, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that may help us build an audience too. That was what I was thinking with Noelle, and I don't know if I communicated that successfully. Like if she puts this on her profile instead of us advertising it and inviting her, then it notifies all her people in her network of, you know, Noelle Silver Russell is live, and you know, that could potentially help us build, you know, different people that are aware of the show. The only downside to that is then somebody has to try to figure out where it is week to week. So if we move it to different people's profiles, I haven't really figured out if there's an easy way to maybe, you know, put it up on Microsoft Speakers Club or put it up on each of our profiles so that people can kind of figure out where we are week to week. That's probably the only downside really that I see.
Yeah, the Speakers Club is gaining momentum now, like, so it could be put it on that one,
Yeah, it's gaining momentum, but not like, Frank, I think you've got, is it like 7,000 or 8,000 followers on LinkedIn? You've got a pretty substantial group of people.
Yeah, I think it's closing up on the 9,000 now.
Okay. So theoretically, when you go live, you're sending that signal to up to 9,000 people. Obviously, not all 9,000 are going to, oh, Frank's live, I better tune in. But even if it's, you know, 10, 15, 20 different profile people that you have that either Solomon, myself, Noelle, or Micah don't have, or vice versa. Like when Micah goes live, it notifies her network that she went live. I think there's some power in that, but then maybe bring it back to Microsoft Speakers Club or somewhere, you know, that people are aware this is where the community is as well.
We got a lot of comments there from Shannon.
Great, awesome.
LinkedIn was great as it went in the banner of Frank's page. That's how I found it. That's how she found
awesome.
it. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. She was
there
saying
was one other thing related to that I was thinking of.
She was agreeing with Solomon there about Windows 11 is shocking. The battery on my laptop is off. Okay.
Yeah, they're still working on it for certain.
Yeah. So we're up on the hour. So will we just end it on there?
Yeah. Why don't we call this show a wrap, and we can discuss next week, and then advertise it in the usual places on our profiles and maybe Speaker Club and that type of thing. But Matthew will be here, so I'm guessing I'll have a sense for whether he would like to do something for Journey to the Cloud or this, or whether he needs a break on Friday.
Yeah. I'd say
I'm not sure
so.
how. He said he'll be fine on Saturday, but by the next weekend he may be needing to come up for a breather or something. Who knows?
Yeah, sure. Myself and Solomon anyway can do something
Yeah, that'd be great.
if you guys are busy.
Sounds good.
So Dan, listen, happy birthday again.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday. Happy birthday.
You doing something nice later?
We're going to a Mexican restaurant tonight, and then before that, I play pickleball in DeKalb. So I played this morning, and I'm playing tonight, and then I'm going out for food and drinks.
I'm doing all the good.
Exactly. I'm trying to get some exercise and then eating all the calories I burned.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do it
Or
on your
drinking
birthday.
them.
So I'll end that broadcast and
Sure.
talk to you during the week, guys.
Okay.